Welcome everybody. At least I got the sound working. We're just really fond of Microsoft here around here. They can't do a freaking upgrade without messing something up. Of course. Yeah, that link I just posted is bad. The quality. Sparkle Horse, Sky Full of Ghost, Alms, Candidate Master Alms, Dinekis, Ruslan Bear, Yurun, Astrobate Pyrat, thanks Mr. Coffee. Subscribing at Tier 2. Peer 2. I'll meet you at Peer 2. Sorry about the external camera. Thanks to Microsoft, that's not working. Latest update. I knew I shouldn't have clicked on the update. It just like pressures you into it. If you don't click Microsoft Update, then it just starts doing really whacked stuff to your computer. So it's usually bad either way. But I mean, something with my camera drivers didn't like the new update, clearly. We're hosting Fast Rapid, 7+5, Rapid 7 rounds, 3 minutes between rounds. Message. Pawn to team. Last call. Send out the last call message. It's last call. Pawn to team. Pawn to team. Tuesday. Last call. Yes. Man, and like, it's not that I hate not that I just hate Windows. I hate OS. Oh, what's it called? I hate Streamlabs OBS. Ponda with a W, like pond, pawn hammer. All right, join us. 7 rounds, fast, rapid. Where else? I just need a faster computer, I guess. Basically, Streamlabs OBS reminds me of Camtasia. It like makes your whole computer lag and extremely slow. Alright, bam. Back to, yeah, whatever processes. My computer is probably running like 100,000 unnecessary processes right now. Going back to tournament. Oh. Fast, Sloth, Fall Rapid. What's up, Juicebox Wizard? Starting in 4 minutes. I'm gonna run to the bathroom very quickly. I can be back in 4 minutes. Time for starting. Be right back, guys. back just in time. There's the clock. It started. Alright. Better late than never. Alright, Cheesy Noob. Wow. 2105. Thanks everyone for playing. Chesty. Cheese.com. Chess Noob. Oh, I lost some time. Cheese Noob. Let me guess. C3. What's up, Niels? Thanks for being a subscriber, dude. Who's in the tournament? Sorry, guys, had to leave you for a minute there. Cheesy Noob, Dinekis, Merle, Sugurumi, Ruslan, Irun, Maple Tree, Asterbait, Pirate Me, others. Alright, takes. Uber driver favorite move. EB static. Just kidding. I like to think up nicknames for everybody. EB TikTok. EB Farnham. Whoa. Alright. Take back. I do a take back. I can't believe you just played Bishop E3. I didn't mean to make a pre-move. I thought it was my turn. Oh, this is such a bad start. Maybe I can beat him. I never pre-moved, but I thought it was my turn for some reason. I'm a little flustered from like running up here. This lasts longer than most marriages. Oh man. What a way to start. I went on a jog, yeah, from downstairs to upstairs. The bathroom is like downstairs and all the way on the other side of my apartment, so it's like 100. I don't know. It's like 60 meters. 60 meters away or something like that. I have no idea. Alright, Cheesy Noob, I mean, seriously? You're going to A, take the bishop. B, not take the bishop. C, resign. D, offer a draw. Inspirational. I'm not going to resign. I refuse to resign immediately. Queen A5 check was very strong. Now he gives the piece back. Now I'm going to think, you know, it's only fair to think for like a minute here. We'll do like what Cheesy Noob did. Justice Department. I'm gonna just think for like a minute. He gave me the bishop back. No, he's just trying to be fair. I mean, I don't agree with it or disagree with it, but I understand it. You know, I didn't mean to pre-move. It was kind of an accident. Almost like a mouse slip. Doing bishop takes c5. I thought it was my turn for some reason. I normally don't try to make pre-moves unless I'm in bad time pressure. So he's trying to be like a sportsman by making it a fair game. But I can see why like takebacks aren't allowed in tournaments. Your dad not returning from getting milk. I won't even go there. Just asking for trouble. But I mean, I'm sorry the game got flawed. Alright. Flawed. Oof. You've got a lot of pent-up anger, Nils. You might want to see a therapist about that. You know, I don't have a license to practice psychotherapy. I just, you know, hand out advice for free. You're not allowed to pay me for it. Queen f3 is a nice move. I think I might just offer him a draw. Oh, we're not allowed to offer a draw. That's, oh my god. The other great feature, the great new feature of lichess is that it's not allowed to offer a draw. That's a brilliant idea. So you have to make 30 moves and pretend we're playing chess before I can like offer a draw. I love that. That's amazing. The arbitrary 30 move draw rule. Something magical happens on move 30. Pawn structureism. I wish Magnus was my best friend. Man, I normally don't like run into the stream like the minute when my game is starting. Excuses, but wow. What a great idea. I was like, he doesn't have time to do e4. I mean, ultimately, is he like losing a pawn here? Ultimately. The ultimate way to lose a pawn. Oh. Wait. U.S. Championship is St. Louis? Wow. You know what's funny? I saw this like Richard Branson Facebook post where he referenced chess. Oh man. And then some lady was like, "Oh yes, and you should come to St. Louis. The garden, you know, the capital of the chess world." Some woman from like Missouri on Facebook was claiming that St. Louis was the capital of the chess world. And I looked up her Facebook profile and she like lives in California. I'm like, so you were born in Missouri and you moved to California because Missouri is so great or what? You know? Sure. Don't get me started. St. Louis is the capital of nothing. Maybe it's the capital of Missouri, I don't know, but it's just not interesting. I don't want to even start about it. Don't get me started. I've never been to St. Louis and I never want to go. Thank you very much. Josh Hawley. It's kind of like, it's sort of like Missouri. Missouri is basically kind of like Serbia, politically. Or Hungary. Alright, we gotta try to save this pawn. Save the whales. Save the pawns. Hungary's a red state. Serbia's a red state. Missouri's a red state, deep red state. But you know, I wouldn't mind if like the guy wasn't like a polarized Republican donor. I just can't believe that people don't care about that. And even if he wasn't, I still wouldn't approve of having the U.S. Championship in the same city all the time every year. It's disgusting. The point of the U.S. Championship is that it's supposed to like be moved around different places. It's not supposed to stay in one place. It's just ridiculous. I'm not going to get back rank mated here. So I don't know. They can have Hans. I hope Hans is playing in the St. Louis Championship. That'd be great. He's a meme. Yeah. Why would a, you know, lover of St. Louis move to California? It's so great. I moved to California. Polarized political donor is the owner of the U.S. Chess Federation, essentially, who's a billionaire. That's cool. Totally cool. Alright. What are you doing? Can you just not bother me, kid? This might end up in a draw anyway, but I am up a pawn here. I mean, gotta think clearly. It's hard to think clearly when you're inherently dumb. Okay. I need wine. I have wine. Yeah. Could keep that blood pressure high. Just a little bit of wine. I don't want to drink too much. I hung h5, yep. And a5 too. They're both hanging. Technical endgames. I don't know why I'm like tired today, but I had a pretty easy day. Tuesday's a light day for me. I don't have a lot of work. Okay. So what about like rook rook c5? Oh, you're attacking my queen. This is basically, he thought I would hang my queen. I almost did. Oh my god. So he loses in one move. Rook c1 check. Poor cheesy noob. He was sportsmanlike and gave me my piece back. This, number one, like draw first should be allowed. Number two, take back should be allowed for like mouse slips. It's an unrated tournament, man. Why should draws and takebacks not be allowed in an unrated tournament? I really seriously want to know. That would require extra coding. An informal tournament. And you're not allowed to offer draws or offer takebacks. Sorry. Thank you for being sportsmanlike, cheesy noob. I don't, you know, feel like you had to do that. I would have just played and tried to, you know, I wouldn't resign down a piece. I try to save the game because it's a tournament, you know. In Blitz, I think it's okay, you know, to to try to play on down a piece. I mean, you dropped a piece in the first 10 moves. Still a lot of pieces on the board. It's not like you're playing on in an endgame down a piece for nothing. Oh shit, are you serious? Cheese.com has the draw rule? They copied the draw rule? Well, that was originally from Over the Board. A lot of Over the Board tournaments enacted this Sophia 30 move rule. It's obviously absurd. We were always like joking about it in general. It's kind of faded from actual practice in Over the Board tournaments. There was a while when we had that. Now that we're back to just like making 10 move draws in the Hungarian Team Championship, it was all just a joke anyway. Like, if two players want to have a draw, they're gonna have a draw. You can't prevent it. You can do the stupid systems with like more points for wins than for draws or whatever. But I think the idea of banning players from agreeing to draws is just really dumb. It's just like, it's not even enforceable. I mean, the people will still draw. They'll just draw with prearranged 30 move games, or just making 30 random moves. Okay, 2 games ongoing. Jeroen. I don't know who's white and who's black here. Okay, so King Kong gets the win. Kong King. Draws are part of the game. I think people need to accept that and move on from it. Get over it, The Maurice Ashley system. Try to make chess more exciting. Let's just change the game. Make it more like, I don't know, something more exciting. Yeah, I mean, people have done stupid stuff. Playing absurd moves. I'm hoping this wine will wake me up a little bit. Someone said last week that wine makes them sleepy. I think beer makes me sleepy. Alright, I'm drinking 1 glass of wine. Oh, trolling the commentators. Okay, I have a cherry cola in emergency. No, beer makes me sleepy too. Alright. If we really start to fall asleep, we'll bust out the cherry cola. A little extra caffeine. I had my coffee too early today. Usually I have coffee around 5:30, but I had my coffee at 4, and it's already starting to wear off. Scotch, yeah, it would be good to stick with bourbon. I like Jack Daniels. If you guys want to buy me any liquor, we're kind of going with the Jack Daniels lately. I was looking for Old Granddad. I went to this liquor store that had a pretty large selection of whiskey in downtown Budapest, and they don't have any Old Granddad, it's like a kind of whiskey made by the Jack Daniels company. Medium priced. Hey everyone, best of luck in the tourney. Will not make it. Excel Poker. New job. Pirate beat 2100 now. Wow. Pirate's been racking up the upset victories lately. That's a pretty serious 600-point upset. He almost, I felt was going to take me out in the simul the other day. Uh-oh, Camel Culture's in. Chemiculture's in late. I'm gonna rejoin this tournament. Alright. We still got a game going. But that's over. Okay. I need to refresh my page. Mr. Coffee, do we get any entries to the team? I don't know why I'm so sleepy, guys. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I'm like a baby. I mean, I'm like grumpy and my eyes are like heavy. If I get 7 hours of sleep, I wanted to have a nap this afternoon, but I couldn't. I was trying to register for the World Senior Championship, but when I tried to pay on in the bank, do a bank transfer, my idiot bank, like, they don't know how to do an IBAN transfer. Hungarians just, it's a disaster, man. Hungarian banks are a disaster. Almost all reliable banks have like left the country. I mean, we've got nothing left but like the State Bank and a handful of kind of unreliable half Austrian banks. I mean, it's Europe, man. I mean, it's an IBAN transfer. In the bank, they don't know how to do this. It's unbelievable. It's like a standard, you know, inter-country bank transfer. No, and it's really bad because, I mean, you can't enter the tournament, like, it's stupid. You have to do it by bank transfer. It's old school. Nils 50 for the bit war. That's right. Hype train. I raise. Mr. Coffee raised to 100. So I finally, like, got the bank transfer. Nils calls for 100. So I should be getting registered for the World Senior in November. It's a good thing I did too. I was procrastinating and almost all the hotels are like filled up. Mr. Slow was like, "Did you register yet?" I didn't think like it would be that big of an issue. I'm gonna end up having to walk like a kilometer to the hotel where the tournament is, but that's probably better anyway. You need to you need exercise. Bobby Fischer. The highest rated player is like 2,500. I think like Heinrich Danielson so far. Icelandic, he's Icelandic, right? Or no, he's Danish. Danielson is Danish. He's like 25-20. I think he's the highest rated player. He's probably like a couple years older than me. I never met him. There's like, as of now, I would be like 10th on the list. Yeah, but Spassky would be in the 65 group. John Nunn is rated like 2580, but he's playing in the old man's division, which is really kind of overkill. He's a little like too strong for that group. I guess he just wants to take it easy. Although he's not really 2580 anymore, I'm sure. But still, he's the most lifetime highest rating of the players in the tournaments. Yeah, it'd be cool if someone like Spassky Jansa's playing and he's 80. He beat my friend like 5 years ago when he was maybe 75. I was like, dude, you lost to a 75-year-old? My friend was like 60 and he lost to Jansa. I'll never forget this time that my friend, another friend of mine, Babakuli Anikov, we played in Aeroflot, and he played, it was unbelievable, like Holmov must have been like 85. I don't know how old he was. He was like ancient. And Babakuli lost to Holmov. I mean, draw is like one thing, but he actually lost to the guy. It's unbelievable. 85-year-old, like, Yeah, man, but I mean, you're talking about Korchnoi, Holmes. We're talking about human beings, you know? I'm talking about human beings. We're not talking about Viktor Korchnoi. We're talking about losing to a human grandmaster. He was like the ultimate competitor. Yeah, you don't compare like Korchnoi to other grandmasters. No, I mean, it was an unbelievable, like, ageless. Yeah, no, Korchnoi beat a lot of strong players in his later years. You know, he was playing in tons of tournaments. He was 2600 almost till the very late last years of his career. Really horrible person, though. All right. My queen is on c2 here. Yeah, I have a perfect core score. Perfect core. A perfect... Yeah, my core. Core training. I have a perfect score of 0 games against Korchnoi. I always tell the story how another friend of mine beat him and he freaked out because my friend wouldn't resign, like with rook against queen, some pawns on the board, because there was chances for like a fortress draw. And it was funny because Korchnoi, like, long game too, he dropped his queen to a lateral check in a simple endgame. Imagine like you're like a 1300 type of blunder. Like you just dropped the queen on the side check to a rook, you know. He freaked out, like knocked over all the pieces and started like racially insulting my friend. Yeah, Korchnoi's been dead. He's been dead for a little while. Well, Spassky's still alive. I don't think he plays anymore. But it's amazing that Jansa still plays. Yeah, the Old People's Championship starts in November 14th. November 15th, I think. I'm playing in the Old People's Championship. Middle Age Championship. But according to the list, I would be seated around 10th. You know, I think it'll be a nice big field, lots of low-rated players. You know, so we're hoping that we get lots of juicy like soft pairings in the first rounds. And then, you know, you just kind of got to get lucky with the pairings. I mean, you want to get lucky with the pairings. It's like a U.S. Open or something where there's like lots of weak players and not that many strong players. If I'm like seated 10th out of 100 players or something, which could happen, say approx. I imagine my division will be the biggest. There's 2 women's sections, 2 men's, but the men's 50 is like the biggest, probably 100 players or 80 players or something, maybe more. I don't know. If I'm seated 10th or approximately about there, you know, you're not going to start facing the other strong players till at least round 3 or 4. It's 11 rounds. All right, Swiss Gambit in effect. The player nearest me in rating is the only Hungarian in the field, Krijan Laszlo. Ironically, will be like board neighbors. One of the only players in the tournament I actually know. Not really well, but I know almost no one. I don't think he's like the only player in my group that I even know. It's really funny. I know a couple of people in the 65 group. I mean, it'll be like Christian Lazo will be the only other person in my section that I've even played a game against before. Wow. Look at this guy. It was funny, I didn't see any other Hungarians, but you know, there'll be more maybe. People wait to the last minute to register. I can't believe he would go by himself. This is insane. Black's like equalizing here? Or what? The equalizer? Just like that? You just magically equalized. Wow. It's like the worst line for black ever. What did I do wrong? Can I try Queen B5? Just for kicks and giggles? It's a sick idea. Gotta be a really sick individual to play this move. I don't know how else I'm gonna possibly win this position. He just instantly took it without even thinking. That's the proper way to play chess. That's the blinky. What's that IM's name? I think he's from the Netherlands. Willy Hendricks. Move first, think later or something. That's a great concept. The Jimi Hendrix Experience. So, it's a curious position, isn't it? Super Knight. Are you gonna do any villain specific prep? No. No, it's pre-game prep against specific opponents. There's no villains. Like I mentioned before, there's like a handful of good players. Nevednici, I lost. Oh, okay, so I lost to Nevednici. Okay, so that's two people I've played. Yeah, that's true. I played Nevednici, so I played two people in the section. Yeah, I mean, Nevednici's the only player in the tournament that's played me and beaten me. So I would be taking any game against him very seriously. There's the German Grandmaster, Bischoff, who I've never played, as far as I know. Those guys, Heinrich Danielson, I've never played. You know, so there's Darcy Lima from Brazil. There's the 7 or 8, like, pretty strong players. Oh, there's another player I did play. I'm lying. So Antich I played 3 times. And we had, like, one of everything. USB device not recognized. You don't say. I know Microsoft Windows Defender. Screw you. Why am I getting a message from Microsoft Windows Defender that says USB device not recognized? That never happened to this update. Wow. Uber Knight. I mean, that pawn is important. Pawns are people too. That's some Jesse Cry bullshit. Jesse could play. He's the same age as me, I assume. So there's like no. It's really funny too. Like there's no American players in my group except for some guys like I've never heard of. There's all these people with like weird foreign names. Wow, he found bishop d8 too. That's a monster move. Absolutely monster move. It was a monster mash. Dude, that's serious monster move there. Bishop d8, double exclamation point. The guy's coming up with some moves when he needs them. Triple exclam. So I played Antich, I played Grijan, and I played... So against the field, I have a -1 score. 2 draws, a win, and 2 losses. I mean, there's a handful of players who are like really active. Nevenici plays a lot. He's a full-time chess pro. So he would be the player that would concern me the most, you know? Danielson doesn't play much, as far as I know. You know, Bischoff might, I don't know. The players that are like grandmasters who are active, that's who you're concerned about. Not like grandmasters who never play, you know. You lose a lot of your strength. With time. I mean, if you don't play at all, you're not going to continue to play at Grandmaster level. But if you take someone like Nevenici who plays open tournaments like all the time, like he's still 30, even though his rating might be 2475, he's still really dangerous. There's a lot of practical experience and he's still sharp. But I mean, those are the kind of players I'd be worried about. But I wouldn't prepare for players. What's the chance of playing someone? Like 1 in 10? Okay, I have Rook A1. But I'm sure he'll come up with a creative defense to that. All you need is a creative defense. The creative defense team. Donald Trump needs a creative defense team. No. No, I don't like wasting time like preparing for specific opponents that I might not play. No, it's Swisses. You're preparing your lines. This is a weird ending. My knight had a monster outpost on that c6 there. Well, usually a knight wouldn't be so dominant. Versus the bishop. But it's like Tartakover said, the knight outposted on the 6th rank is like game over. Paraphrasing Tartakover. The knight just killed him. Yeah, I mean he was like better, maybe not, but not worse. I think he was fine. Black shouldn't have lost this. I let him completely off the hook. I am totally witting now. Wittig or unwittingly. He resigned. That was a close one, man. Tartakover said, Knight on the 6th rank, it's game over, bro. Wow, I had 1 inaccuracy, 14 CPL. And I was worse after move 15 by 0.1, according to the engine. That 1 inaccuracy cost me my opening advantage. We got a request to join the team. Nice. Hunter 1998. Hunter College. Is Hans a Hunter School alum? I don't know, I'm a little bit like dazed and confused today. I hung a bishop against Cheesy Noob on a pre-move, accidental, and he gave it back to me. Second game I was like in a trance. Resident Spectre. How am I doing? Oh no, not Mr. Not Mr. No. Oh my god. I'm playing in the World Senior in November and the people are calling me Mr. Mr. Coffee. Yeah, I need more sleep. Alright. I feel sleep deprived. Mr. Guys, what happened to the bit war? That's it? That was like a bit skirmish. Mr. Coffee and Nils did a bit skirmish. That was like the battle for Lyman. He just found a lot of like empty Russian uniforms. Yeah, where did those guys go? Good idea. Man, Elon Musk said another dumb thing. What are we gonna do with that guy? I think he should run. Oh, he can't run for president. That's the problem. He was. Wait. Yeah, he was born in South Africa. You know, if Elon Musk was born in the United States, he would like already be running for president for sure. The problem is that he was born in South Africa. It's like Schwarzenegger. So I just had to put up with these like idiotic things he says on Twitter. Like, I don't know what's worse, like Elon Musk or Kanye West. We've also got Herschel Walker. Now, you know, I was thinking about this tournament. Speaking of Herschel Walker. Now, Bobby Fischer said, where's the Fischer quote? Where's our Bobby Fischer quote anyway? Fischer said, like, you can't separate the brain and the body. Then how do you explain, like, the fact that Herschel Walker was, like, a world-class, like, NFL football player? The guy literally has no brain. Do you think he was, yeah, before the brain damage, he was equally daft? But the funny thing is, like, that he was talked into running for Senate by, like, these stupid, like, media, like, partisan media people. Like, what kind of an idiot would, like, encourage Herschel Walker to, like, run for a Senate seat? You know, I mean, they're even dumber than he is, you know? It's insane. It's really... Dude, I mean, Hannity, like, encouraged him. He's the reason why Herschel Walker was running for the Senate, dude. Dude, are you serious? Lionel Spoon raced Herschel Walker at the Spectrum. Indoor 6-yard dash. Oh my god. The guy was unbelievable, you know, unbelievable athletically. Well, that's insane. What was the event? It was, like, what kind of, like, football related? Wow. Indoor track meet. That's insane. What's the chances that Lionel Spoon actually raced Herschel Walker? He was, yeah, insanely fast and strong, right? I'm just like, you know, I try to incorporate the news. You know, I try to incorporate current events into the stream, while we're you know, having a lull in the action here. You know, and Herschel Walker is he's in the political spectrum now. The political spectrum. Spectrum was, you know, the indoor stadium where the Sixers and the Flyers used to play in Philly. Oh wow. So you won in 1980. How old? Wow. So that's crazy, man. That's cool. You went to Drexel. Yeah, Drexel's a good school. Lord Bresco. Stapfire again. That's really funny, though. So, you didn't... I mean, he was, like, hyped up at that point already. He must have been... I mean, Herschel Walker must have been pretty hyped athletically already. You knew who he was and stuff in 1980. Yeah, I wasn't... Yeah, he's huge, right? Yeah, I would think, man. He'd be a little bit, like, bulky to be a sprinter. I mean, that's crazy. Lord Bresco against Stapfire again. But I mean, sure, he wasn't as bulky back then, 1980, but... I mean, they don't always go hand in hand, you know. Wide receivers and stuff can be sprinters, but it's not like, you know, you don't see a lot of, like, running backs necessarily are like sprinters. The sprinters would be like, you know, thinner, more lightweight, you know. That's crazy. That's a cool memory to have, though. So what's this, a draw? Draw allowed on move 73? Are you sure it's not too early? 1980, I was 8 years old. I was doing like the 4th grade thing. I'm playing Little League baseball. Actually, in the fall, I was probably playing street football with my friends. Watching the Eagles on TV. What are we gonna do here? We got Sloth Rapid Swiss. So a total of 26 players. The nice thing about this time control is that more people show up. When I do longer ones, now everybody's like, oh, it's too long. The Eagles are 4-0. I don't even know what's what. I know the Patriots lost like 2 out of their first 3 games, but I haven't really followed. I had no idea the Eagles were 4-0. That's cool. I don't even know who the Eagles quarterback is. I don't know. I haven't followed the Eagles much. I used to follow the Patriots after living in Boston, and I rarely... You know, you can't watch NFL games here because it's like too late. I mean... Monday Night Football is like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's always weird to follow I only follow football when I'm like living in the United States. And then when I'm over here, the only people who follow football are people who are like into sports betting and stuff. I have some friends that are into sports betting. Of course, it's like legal everywhere and pretty much online. No, we're talking about like American football. An impatient person plays differently than a mere patient person. Sorry, need glasses. More. Dude, Mr. Coffee, that's deep. I think even Herschel Walker would agree with that. He's a terrible choice. I can't believe the Republicans are going to do that to themselves. You have like a really decent person running against him in the Georgia Senate election, and Raphael Warnock, it just doesn't even gonna, he's not even gonna run like negative. He couldn't run, he's like a pastor. He wouldn't run like negative ads. I mean, that wouldn't be right. But he doesn't need to do anything, you know, just let Herschel Walker embarrass himself. Uber driver playing the bishop f4. Right, so we've talked about this. I've tried everything, you know, the Jabava. A6. Levente Vita like criticized me when I lost with this. He came on the stream and he was like blaming everything on A6. It's just not principled. Alright, Uber. We go like French defense style. I mean, you can bring the bishop out if you want to. No, I like political prop betting. That's my new thing. I don't think I've got any ability to bet on like U.S. midterm elections though. I should check. I think I invested all my online betting money though. They should have like prop bets on the American Senate races and stuff. What about while we're here, let's talk about the Brazil election. Lula versus Bolsonaro. You guys want to put some money on that? On Party Poker, like sports betting site, they had this disclaimer like bets are refunded if the election is annulled or something like that, or if the election doesn't happen. Alright, A3. I don't know about A3. I don't like A3 Uber driver. Like, why? You think I'm going to play bishop B4? I would never do that. I've done a lot of trial and error in these Jabava Londons, and it seems like, even though I don't play the French, this seems like the best setup is this French type of setup, because it discourages white. You do this queenside expansion. White can't do his like queenside castle crap. They do the queenside castle, like attack you like crazy on the king side, and then castle queenside, but you'll get like blown away by the pawn storm. So whereas like E6 seems passive in the normal London, I think against this knight C3, it's actually pretty good. Eagles. Yeah, I miss watching NFL. 3 years ago, before the pandemic, I was in like 2019. I was living back home for a while. Actually, for 2 years. Both 2018 and 2019, I was home in the football season and watching football. I kind of miss it. It's just not the same here, you know, there's no hype. Not that many people follow American football. It just doesn't feel the same. I can't really get into European football. I'll watch it, but it's just not, I don't have the passion for it that I do. When I grew up, everyone around me was really into American football. My mom, my dad, my friends. We played football all the time. They call like baseball the national pastime, but I honestly think like maybe NFL might be more popular. Probably NBA is more popular. Baseball is probably like the third most popular sport in the United States. Basketball and American football. Baseball's third and hockey is like fourth. Alright, Uber driver. You're going to castle kingside. So now you've got the Richard Rapport knight a2, knight b4 maneuver. You might ask yourself, what does that do? Well, I don't rightly know, but I'll let you know when I find out. It's a weird way of controlling e4. No, wait, you're already controlling e4. It's basically a queen's gambit accepted reversed is what Uber Driver's doing here. It's a thing. That's a straight up like loss of tempo, right? Bishop g5. You obviously played to London, so you could play bishop g5. Now it'd be hard to guess what was the opening. Okay, what do we do? Do we just like play h6? But what's the point? You know, blindly play h6 for no reason. h6, I'm not going to play g5. You can though, you know, it's been done. But I don't know about this setup. This is a tough one. You know, he's not doing what they all do. Uber Driver's a safe player. He's not trying to do crazy stuff where he castles queenside. He's just like cutting his losses now and just playing solid. It's almost like a Kali system. Bishop e7 is possible. Bishop e7, e4, d4. That's probably the way I have to play it. You know, if he tries to break with e4, I go d4. Screw you, you know. e4, d4. I think that's the way to play this. I can play more safely, but e4, d4, e5, d takes c. And what? You know, we trade pieces, and I have a better structure. What are you going to do to me? e4, d4, knight e2, like Queen's Gambit, accepted, Chigorin. You're playing the Chigorin. e4, d4, knight e2, e5, knight g3. How come like how come your bishop is on g5? Are you gonna trade my bad bishop off? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna trade my bad bishop off for your bad bishop? Thank you. Thanks guys for tuning in and joining us. Everybody, I hope you have a good time. Maybe we'll do more of these 7+5s because it seems like the time control is more accessible to everyone. I don't want to play blitz though. I don't want the games to be about just the clock. 7-5 is the fastest we're gonna do. I've sworn off blitz as a matter of principle. Oh my god. What are you doing? What does that do? I don't understand. So, I'm just taking on c3. What is Superdrive thinking here? I don't understand. The master of calculation. You need mean, I know you can play like bishop e4, but I can meet it with bishop b7. Is there more to this? Or Uber Driver just basically did like a random move. It's like, hey, there's a dark alley over there. Let's go back in there and see what's in there. The dark alley system. You see a dark alley and you like, you know, you like gravitate toward it. Like, I think there's a dark alley over there. I really want to see what's back there. But White's pawn structure is a little bit, shall we say, questionable. I don't want to be greedy, but I mean, the easiest way to do this might be just like taking that pawn. Dark alleys are hardly a respectable place to be. Queen c3, bishop e4. I also have rook d8. You know, there might be some crazy variation though where I'm actually getting back rank mated, like queen c3. Actually, queen c3 protects c6. I'm gonna take this. He's got the Greek gift here. That obviously wins by force. Bishop h7, king h7, knight g5 check, king g8, queen h5, queen c2, rook c1, queen somewhere, and I'm just like up a couple pawns. Or variation B is like bishop takes h7, king h7, knight g5 check, king g6, which is probably like losing for white. Or even h6 for that matter. Yeah, I guess h6 is even more deadly. No, he can't do a Greek gift sack. The truth is that he doesn't have a plan. I don't know what came over him. Like, why would a solid player play e5 here? Uberdrive, why didn't you just play knight e2 like John Curdo or the normal type of Chigorin in reverse? Under the circumstances, maybe knight g5 is a reasonable move. He has this square. Looks like a decent try. The best move is probably f5, but I don't know. I've got to like make sure. I don't like playing f5, you know, in general. It's kind of a messy move that creates weaknesses. But objectively, I mean, it does a lot of stuff. I mean, it controls the e4 square. I can meet queen h5 with h6, obviously. This has got to be better than anything else. This is key. I'm stopping the threats. Queen h5 doesn't really do anything, and I'm just like up a pawn. I don't like weakening my e6 pawn, but I mean, it's really, you don't want to be anal retentive where you can't create any weaknesses in your position. f5 is going to be like 100%, the computer said this, like the only really good move for black. If you can't play f5, then you shouldn't be playing chess. I mean, it's just way too. I could have done like h6, but I mean, it's just kind of passive, I think. I've got queen f6. If rook e1, queen f6, I mean, I can play maybe even e5. So many good moves here for black, it's just ridiculous. Knight d4. Knight d4 looks a little weird, honestly. It's not completing my development. Competing in development. Yeah, you might find interesting stuff in the dark alley. Astrobate, been to any cool dark alleys lately? Maybe find a good dice game. Capital Murder. Lots of interesting things. Uber Driver is, you know, he's an experienced player, and an experienced over the board player who's practical and has skills. He's only a pawn down at the end of the day. He's trying to do like knight takes h7, maybe queen h3. Queen h3, h6, knight f3, queen f6. Black's clear pawn up. It sounds like a song. Alright, dude. Time to consolidate. He does have f4. Didn't want to pull the trigger on f4, huh? You might regret that decision. See, like, Uber Driver was unwilling to play f4. Because it's a kind of weakening move, you know? He just resigned. Okay, what happened here? It's just like e5 is a crazy move, right? I mean, it's a totally okay game until you randomly played e5. That's my take on this. Golubovic versus Rogic. Bishop g5 novelty. e4 is best. e4 right away, wow. So that's like the Kali London. That's better. Wow, Black played a really strange move there too. b4. Do we actually transpose to a game after move 10? Yeah, I mean here, like, Uber Driver just like lost his mind. Uber Driver, if you're not gonna calculate, why would you play e5, dude? He doesn't calculate. Keep it, if you don't calculate, you want to keep it simple. Why play e5? Okay, we have another request to join Alpha Zero. That's why not Hans Niemann? Alpha Hans Niemann. Yeah, this looks kind of dubious. Oof. They've won every game they played. Teodoro, FIDE rating 2079. Interesting. Ultra Bullet, that's my favorite. I don't know, man. 1900 Ultra Bullet, an amazing Ultra Bullet player. How many rapid games does he have? Got some. Alright. Looks legit, though. As long as you're legit. Do you have enough Blitz and Rapid? Actually not. You're gonna have to come back with more games. Alright. I got a 100 game request. We gotta draw the line. I mean, he's got no Blitz, just Hyper Bullet. I'm gonna decline. You gotta come back with 100 games. We're gonna strictly enforce the rules here. You're welcome to join, but you have to have 100 games. No one's above the law. Team requirement is 100 games minimum. Non-bullet. You can reapply. Alright. Back to tournament. That was a bad game. Uber Driver just randomly playing e5. What Do you have much problem with, like, you know, self-control? I'm getting better. The older I get, I'm getting better at self-control. It comes with age, Uber Driver. Uber Driver's been super quiet. Maybe he's, like, on the road. Bone Atrophy with 2.5. Camel Culture with a half-point buy. Merles, 14. D-Neckis, Sigaru, Cheesy Noob, Blurresco. Om's never made it, huh? Sumahair's here. Plays just badly. Goo, another Hungarian. Nefidov didn't make it. Om's didn't make it. Om's lost. Om's lost to Merles in the first round. And Merles beat another strong player. What's going on with Merles? Merles is strong in bullet. Wow, 1900, played 47 games today. Didn't Merles have like a crazy strong result in one of these tournaments before? Well, I would watch out for this account. What happened there? So Pirate just did something insane. Down a queen. Chess rants. Be careful. Camel Culture. Be careful of Camel Culture. He beat Stapvargan. You were black. It was a stone wall. And Stapvargan still has his bad bishop, of course. What happens if you like bribed Stapvargan to like trade off his bad bishop? What would he do? It's like he's handicapping himself. Like, we'll see if I can beat people with my bad bishop on the board every single game. Next round, 0-0. Where is it? Stand by, Stapvargan. Oh, my website. My website is hanging. Bone Atrophy. I've been playing for a minute. Oh my god, are you guys serious? I'm giving 1 minute time odds. No wonder the site was bugging. Draw? Oh. Sorry, I tried to offer you a draw. Alright. I don't know why I played B3, just something random. My kitten goes out. Do you have any ducks? You got your ducks lined up, Asterbait? I just kind of like make up weird stuff when I play B3 because I don't really know the theory of this. I just pretend I'm playing the English defense in reverse. Normally white plays like either bishop c4 or I think bishop e5 in this position. I hope I haven't played this against Bone Atrophy already. I guess bishop e5 is the most thematic. I have my own ideas. Just trying to mess with people a little bit. Playing random Petrosian-esque. So you like to play chess, eh? Man, I need to get glasses. I'm almost 100% sure now that I have eye strain. Undiagnosed eye strain. You think you have a hangover, but it's really eye strain. Alright. What what to do now. We transpose to the open Sicilian, right, with d4. Like, what else would I play in this position? You'd have to be like a loser to play anything else. I mean, c4, e5, that's embarrassing. Actually, okay, c4 might not be so bad. You know what, I was actually concerned he would play d5 if I played c4. Where's Andrew Karklands? I have a question, like, in all seriousness. Like, there hasn't been a World Senior in like 3 years because of the pandemic. How is it possible that there's like hardly any American players going to the World Senior, and the ones that are there are like these like weird foreign names that I've never heard of? Like, I know everybody. Gregory Markson and Tim Taylor are the only people playing in the World Senior. Why is like Kudrin go? Why isn't Kudrin going? If Gregory Markson's playing, why can't someone cool go? Kelleher, one of my old friends. Tim Taylor. What am I gonna do? Hang out with Tim Taylor? Are you serious? The only person in the whole field that I actually like is Shandor Biro, he's a Hungarian from Romania. I'm gonna end up like having dinner with Shandor Biro every night, drinking a bottle of wine. We don't want to do that. I did that once in Balaton. It's nice to socialize, but we don't want to mix pleasure with business. Shandor Biro makes chess sets, or at least sells them. I don't know where he gets them from, but I have a chess set from him. Biro Shandor. He's a nice guy. It's nice to encounter some nice people in the chess world on occasion. Yeah, Tim Taylor, he's I don't know, my impression is he's like kind of a weird guy. He must be close to 65 though. I was surprised he's in the 50 plus group. He's got to be like 63 if he's a day. But it looks like he's just narrowly in my group. He seems like a decent person. I don't really know him. He just seemed a little bit eccentric or something, but chess player, right? Yeah, he's written a number of books. I know he also did, well, he's got like a variation of the Smith Gambit in the Sicilian. They refer to as the Taylor variation, so I think he kind of appropriated that line that I play in the Smith Mora. Though I never had any clue he was associated with it. I mean, he was like interesting in the respect that I heard of his name, but like all through the like late 80s and early 90s, I never saw the guy. I think whatever, he wasn't involved in chess much throughout most of my career, and then sort of like came back to start playing again a little bit in the later period. There's these people that I never met that they sort of appeared. The best example of that is James Tarjan, who I never saw in my life, and he like worked his whole life like he worked his whole life and then came back to chess in his retirement age and beat Kramnik in the Isle of Man. I don't know who's Al Borland. I don't recognize him. I mean, I don't know everybody. I mean, I have a pretty good memory, but I don't I don't, I haven't met everyone in the chess world. I mean, I've literally only played like, yeah, I knew, well, I mean, knew them is like one thing. Yeah, I knew Richard Costigan and Demelt. I mean, I played Rich Costigan once or twice, and I saw Demelt play. He was still active in the late 80s. But I never really hung out, I never went to the Franklin Mercantile Chess Club till I was already in college. So I wasn't really active in the local Philadelphia chess scene. I had met those guys in the bigger tournaments, like the World Open and stuff. I played Richard Costigan once or twice. Who's Al Borland? It's Tim Taylor's friend. Co-host. I always tell the story how when I moved to Budapest in 2004, Tim Taylor had just been here, and I went to this internet cafe, and all of his files and like he was like writing an article about his experiences. But the story was that got a little too Taylor wrote this article that got a little too like racy or something for like chess life. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much detail because my memory is vague. But it was funny that I went to this internet cafe near the Hungarian Chess Federation in 2004. I just like logged onto a random computer and there was like files from Tim Taylor. I was like, that's weird. What's the chances? Oh my god. What am I doing here? I always tell the same stories over and over. I know that he wrote a monograph on the Birds opening, I think. Didn't he write a book on the Birds? Maybe not a monograph, but like a literal bird book. Bird is the word. But seriously, Mr. Coffey, who is Al Borland? It sounds like a Danish name or something. Jesus with the bishop c5. Chill with the bishop c5. You're not my friend anymore after that move. Yeah, Home Improvement. That's the, yeah, I never watched. Oh, Tim Taylor was the main character. Now I understand. Okay. No, it was weird about Tim Taylor, the fact that he was an IM that I never saw in my whole life, I was like, who is this guy? Between like 1987 and like 2000, I like 13 years went by where I never ever saw the guy in my life. And then I think I finally like I saw him in a US Open or maybe Vegas. He lived in Texas, I think, for a long time. But maybe I'm confusing him with someone else. Probably I am. I'm thinking of Doug Root. Okay, anyway, I don't know what Tim Taylor lived. He lived in California. I don't know. I'm confusing him with Doug Root, but he was an obscure IM who I never met. He was totally absent from the chess scene for basically like a very long time. My entire chess career, the first half of my entire chess career. And then I just noticed the guy later. But his rating is like really tanked. His rating is like 2100. I mean, he's like played too many little kids, and that's what happens when you play little kids in like continental chess tournaments. It's game over, bruh. You don't play little kids in the continental chess tournaments. Period. End of story. But he was never like super strong. Average, I am at best. He's not me or anything, you know, the legend. Damn, this bone atrophy is pissing me off. You're pissing me off, man. You gotta stop playing so freaking well. You promise? I'm just down a pawn for nothing. Talking too much. Then you get the, like, rook takes, materialistic sort of, slightly materialistic sort of move. It feels like, but maybe good. What am I gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, man? We're gonna do something about it right now. Nah. Dude, I mean, I'm not like Mr. Rating Protection, but I'm not an idiot. You know, I'm not gonna like enter tournaments where I'm getting bombarded with 1,800 little kids, you know. I had this one tournament in like 2016. You guys maybe remember. I told the story how I literally played, every single opponent I played was like under the age of 30 in a 9-round tournament. It's like ridiculous. Give me at least like one old man. I mean, that's just not fair. It seems like bone atrophy's gotten stronger. No? They've gone up in rating. Yeah, but like my oldest opponent was like something like that. Like literally. Bishop c4 domination. No, it was like literally I played a 28-year-old or something. It was kind of a joke, you know. I mean, chess players' ages range from like 5 years to 80, you know, and you've got 9 opponents, and all 9 of them are between like 5 and 28, you know. There were old people in the tournament, you know. There were like 15 to 17, 20 of them, but I didn't get paired with any of them. The arbiters were just hammering me with like 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 16-year-old, you know, and like my 28, it was like 7 of them were under 18, and then I had like one 28-year-old. No, that was the point. It wasn't like, oh, they were all 28. It just like there was 1 or 2 who were in their 20s, and the rest were like under 18. You're just like, your rating points are automatically leaving the building in that kind of situation. It's just a question of, it's like a losing poker hand, you know. It's a question of how much you can minimize the losses. I just like gave away draws to little kids and pretty girls. There was one really, really hot young woman, and I just didn't want to play against her. Actually, 1 or 2. One of them was really smoking. I couldn't even concentrate. I was just like, whatever. We'll just play something simple and offer a draw. And then little kids, I was, oh, he's so cute. I can't beat him. It just wouldn't be right. And his dad was so happy I like offered him a draw. I was such a nice international master. So I was thinking here not to exchange, right? The K factor for a change? I'll get the K factor for a change. What does that mean? Actually, that's the whole point. My K factor can never change. K factors are forever, man. It's like a wife. You're married to your K factor, bro. That's the problem with the rating system. G5. It's a nice move. Black will probably hold this. But I guess he should, huh? I don't agree with the FIDE ready system. I mean, it's... My biggest problem is the K factor bullshit. I don't think that that's the way it should work. There should just be like 1 or 2 K factors. Little kids don't need help like raising their ratings like faster so they can get the FIDE master title. It's just a bullshit way for FIDE to charge more money for their title applications. I'm stuck at like 2350. It'll take me like 10 years to get back to 2400. Wow. Where is Bobby Fischer when you need him? Dude, broken pawns. Pawns on both sides of the board. Tricky situation, but Fischer was like the legend in these bishop versus knight endings, right? What's happening here? Where's he going? If you don't see the threat, it probably is like a direct knight fork. Could be a problem. Master had that move. Oh man, he's just like freaking. He just resigned. Old man, like endgame technique. But I think like even toward the end, it's still a draw. You know, if he just like doesn't panic. The important thing is like keep your composure. You have to be confident in your endgame technique. Now, if they're playing a fantastic tournament, I'm 4-0. Oh, the Merles won again. Let's just take a quick look at his like CPLs. Not suspicious. Dinekis sometimes plays like totally like a maniac. Alright. FIDE, Barons in Chess, welcome back. Yeah, I'm a big hater of FIDE and their fees and their whole organization. I'm just not a supporter. I mean, it's the only game in town, and I'm here, an international master of the International Chess Federation, but I don't feel good about FIDE. Well, I don't think you should give me your bishop. I don't think you should give me your bishop, Bonatrophy. I mean, bishop versus knight is not a joke. You know, in a simplified ending, you cut it really close there. You know, you shouldn't let me take your bishop on d5. The best thing to do is a very simplified ending, but don't give me bishop for knight, because in that situation, this starts to become maybe like even lost. You know, you're on the borderline of lost when you give me bishop for knight. But you were like better at some point, obviously. Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't pay money for titles. I was like the last person who had to pay for his USCF. I think I was the last American who had to pay for the FIDE Master title. Some record like that. It's been a long time. But back in the day, the policy had changed. Like for a while, the USCF paid for it, and then they like changed their policy, so like individuals had to pay for their own titles. I think like they reversed policy after I paid for my FIDE Master title. The USCF said they were going to pay for everybody's FIDE Master title from that point forward or something. Once Slaggy pays for his FIDE Master title, then we'll start paying for everybody's. No problem. The arena titles, I mean, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but I mean, it's a scam, you know? Alright. It doesn't mean you're not a good player, and it might not be that easy to get the arena master titles, but I think it's a FIDE scam. They have a lot of scams, you know? Another scam is the trainer titles, you know? And they claim they're like, did you see the... Mr. Coffee, did you see the... Whew... Thibault wrote a really nasty reply. Satoshi claimed like FIDE was the only charitable chess organization. Charitable, my ass. Or non-profit. Excuse me. You know, I'm saying non-profit. He claimed that it was the only major non-profit chess organization. Oh. Dude, I think Satoshi needs to go. You know, I mean, even... I don't know, a lot of people like blindly support that guy because he was a chess player. But I don't see the deal, you know. I don't see what's so great about him. We should have more proactive FIDE president. Well, he's not the FIDE president, director or whatever. I don't see Satoshi doing anything special. Yeah, you guys know like Knight F7 is. I don't play that. I'm not gonna play that. So, I'm not gonna blindly say, oh, Satoshi's great. Why? What has he done? I mean, nothing special. He's not totally corrupt. The positive thing about ML Satoshi being like the director of FIDE is that he's not like absolutely completely corrupt. But I haven't seen anything special, you know, from him. And the problem, I mean, you got rid of Ilumzhinov, which is good. It's a good start, right? But that's still not enough. You gotta like clean the swamp completely. They only like sucked out like part of the swamp. That was the International Chess Federation. Scrub Master. I feel like I'm playing Schieber Spieler. I don't know why. Let's just do C4. Camel Culture is not Schieber Spieler. There is no resemblance between Camel Culture and Schieber Spieler. Oops! I hung my nugget. Dude, US chess sucks. FIDE sucks. I mean, most chess federations are terrible. The Hungarian Chess Federation is terrible too. I don't know what to say, you know. There's FIFA. That's good. Bernie Ecclestone. Like, what sport, like the NFL? What sport isn't corrupt? Like, totally corrupt? Like, can you name a sport that isn't totally bad and corrupt? It's like really hard to think of one. You know, maybe the International like Ping Pong Association is basically legit. I mean, I don't know. Okay, we can play Knight C3. Basically, Camel Culture playing kind of weird. Aliakin here. Not that weird. I mean, objectively. I'm lazy. I'm inherently lazy. I don't want to think. I'm just like making automatic moves. Yeah, Camel Culture is like using no time at all. Have you been playing a lot of like 1-minute games or something? Or are we not going to start with that? I'm calling him Camel Culture again, are we? Dude, get part of the... This is the culture of my stream. You know, we make up funny names for people. Camel Clutcher is not... It's not PC, man. We have to call him Camel Culture. Don't even get it. He has a non-politically correct name. And I'm not going to go into details about why that is. But that's been the joke all along. But, you know, it's too deep. It just would whoop over your head. It's alright, you know. But don't, like, write into the stream and be like, oh, you're saying it wrong. Right. Exactly. I get these people who are like, oh, man, you keep saying his name wrong. Damn, you've been reading, like, Elon Musk tweets lately, or what? Yeah. Nothing politically incorrect about, like, grabbing him by the camel. Nothing implied there. I got really mad at one guy who kept, like, insisting I was saying Camel Culture's name wrong. It's like, Jesus, dude, do you take everything so literally? He had to get involved in, like, suggestions about the war in Ukraine now. It's hopeless. Mr. Coffee, can we get a poll about the war in Ukraine going on? What an idiot. The only thing he cares about is, like, his bottom line. He wants to stop the war in Ukraine because, you know, it'll be more profitable for him. It's so sick, man. I mean... You could just see his, like, brain working. If he can fix the market by ending that war in Ukraine, his bottom line goes up. No, I'm just kidding, Mr. Coffee. Here we go again. Can we report Camel Culture's name? I always tell the story how I had this account. We had this account on ICC. That was really bad. And they banned it eventually, but it took them like, I don't know, forever. It was like a year. At least like 8 months I was playing on this account called Snack on My Sack. It was spelled like S-A-C. They had no problem with the account's name. No one complained until... I remember like this one particular week where, I don't know, I crushed like Arena in a Blitz game or something, and then like a day later, like, the account was banned for like name violation or something. I mean, you know, a little bit of humor is alright. I like Camel Culture. I mean, it's like tastefully politically incorrect. Is that a thing? Can you be, like, tastefully politically incorrect? I just don't know what to do anymore. What would the computer do here? King H1, prophylaxis. I think, you know, it's where you draw the line. I love Camel Clutcher. It's like subtle. You can't like ban him for having a bad name. Snack on My Sack was... It was a little too blatant. But it got, you know, it was subtle enough to like survive for like 6 months or minimum, you know. It was funny, like no one complained about it forever. We're talking about another era, another chess site, you know, it's like well in the past, but the principle is the same. If I don't know, man. If what's her name? Can't even remember her name. She's so famous. Who's that? Who's that streamer who like went off on Ilya Smirin? She got wind of the implications of Camel Culture's name. I mean, he would probably be banned from lichess. What's her name? Stella, or the 2100 chick from Luxembourg? Stella something? Sorry, I can't remember your name. Fiona, like, oh, she's like a Shrek. Yeah. Shrek's wife. If Shrek's wife, like, got wind of Camel Culture, I don't know, man. You'd be in the trash heap with Ilya Smirin. Alright. Dude, you're just too solid. He must be taking lessons with, like, Schieber Spieler. Ilya said what? No, Ilya got fired for supposedly, like, sexist comments, but I thought it was, you know, and I'm not the only one. Rhetorical questions that were implicating, like, some kind of sexual, not sexual, but sexist overtones. Ilya's a horrible chess commentator, apparently. But there are questions about, you know, if it's okay or not to ask rhetorical questions. Like, if men can play in women's tournaments, shouldn't that be logical? If women can play in men's tournaments? I don't think that's insulting to anybody. The way he said it was his tone of voice. It was the way he said it. No, he's not a good communicator. Who would hire Ilya Smirin to be a commentator for a major tournament? Emil Satovsky, maybe. Great player, but no communication skills. You know, you kind of need communication skills to be a chess commentator. Just saying. Oh, have I discussed the Lou versus Garrett hand yet? Well, I mean, I don't know enough about it, man. I don't know enough about those people, you know, to discuss it. There was something I was thinking about that. You know what I was thinking about? I play poker badly? Right, an engineer. Sure, for publicity or something. But what happens to the rake? That's my question. Like, there's a max rake on the table, right? But, I mean, that must have been taken out of the pot, no? She's giving the money back, but the rake is gone. I mean, what's the max rake, do you think? On a high-stakes table like that, where people are... I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't rake the games. I assumed there would be, but maybe not. But I don't understand, you know, so a point... What's the point of a casino if there's no rake? I don't get it. Maybe it's a TV table. Maybe the advertising's enough. I never really thought about it. I assumed, like, every game is raked. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Well, that answers that question. It just occurred to me. It's super weird. But I mean, you think of all the, like, the poker scams in the past. I mean, how many, like, casinos have, and how many poker games have like, people, like, cheated in the history of poker, you know? It's probably, like, massive, right? I mean, you'd have to watch, like, the Cincinnati Kid to realize poker games can be rigged. It's sort of funny in a way. Maybe, like, somebody just, like, there was a camera watching our cards, or who knows, you know? But again, like, the likely conclusion is that there was nothing funny. I don't know, you know? It's so vague to me. That story is really... That story is just weird. So what... Another question, like, how much delay is there in that game when they're I mean, giving the money back, it's incomprehensible. I don't know, though. I didn't watch the video. I just read, like, a general, story about it. I didn't actually watch it. How much arguing there was, what the context of giving the money back was. I mean, it could be as simple as having a camera in the back of the room that can see your hole cards. You got to imagine, like, a lot of poker games are rigged. It's like not a new concept, but in this context, yeah, I mean, it's pretty weird, man. But I didn't see, like, the argument. I mean, what does he do? My question is, like, what did the guy do? I didn't watch it. What does he do when she calls him, and then does he just start to freak out, or, like, what is he gonna say? What is he saying? Oh, she had to have cheated. It must be a scam. You must be, like, pretty controlled in that situation if you're this guy. That people will take you seriously, first of all, Yeah, of course, but I mean, most people just like, okay, he's Magnus Carlsen, he's just pissed. Next, I feel like most cases that story wouldn't have got any attention whatsoever. It's just another guy who's pissed because, some donk, like, took his money. But why did it get, so much attention? And why, how does he even, like, slow down the action to make it look like, how does he even make people aware he has a legitimate case or whatever at the time? He would have to be kind of, like, not losing his mind, No, I didn't know the hand action. No, as I said, I don't know enough about it. I just was thinking that, if he's gonna, after the hand, accuse anybody of anything, he'd have to remain pretty calm. Otherwise, I think people wouldn't take it seriously. He's just an angry guy who, like, lost the pot, I'll have to watch it more closely. We can talk about it later. But I agree, like, all possibilities are on the table. It could be that they were cheating. It could be that he's just an angry guy, and it could be that, like you're saying, it could even be like a publicity stunt. Totally. I mean, the publicity stunt concept kind of gains momentum when we start talking about giving the money back. I agree with you. No, I mean, staged for publicity. They just, like, it's free publicity. The giving the money back thing is super weird. She won, like, $250,000 on a bluff, apparently. Like, calling a bluff, not on a bluff. On a jack high call. Here we go again. Another endgame. Although I think Camel Culture's pretty good at endgames, to be honest. I respect his endgame play. I respect mine more. I'm just, like, not even, like, paying attention to the game. I'm on autopilot. But I'm pretty good on autopilot. Maybe I play better on autopilot. He offered a draw. But I'm feeling the initiative here. I feel the fear of Camel Culture. So how was it? Like, they both had jack high, but she had a higher kicker? Is that what happened? Seriously? Berenson was like, her jack was indeed higher. No, I didn't see it. I just know the story. So he had lower than Jack high, is what we're saying. Which is what I assume. It wasn't like both players had a Jack and he had like a higher kicker or something. That would be really sick. She like beats him with Jack high with a bigger like kicker. Really dissing cam culture here. Declining his draw offer. But people can lose like any position. Who was small blind versus big blind? I get the pre-flop. She has some kind of backdoor straight draws. Turn is a 3 with 3 hearts on the board. Uh-huh. But I mean, does she have a heart? You even have a heart, man. Show me some heart. Are we having fun yet? Like, seriously. Acrimonious, it's my turn. You gotta kind of feel for camel culture here. This is sort of sick, man. I'm like torturing him in this endgame. Damn. He's still being tough. Maybe I'm not winning? Oh my god. Oh. You're kidding me. Wow. I hate you. I hate you for defending this ending. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Wow, that's so sick. I hate you so much for defending this. You were lost, bro, and you saved it. You're like a genius. Oh my god. How did he do that? What the hell happened? I can't believe it. How did you save that? You're like out of nowhere. You were totally lost. How did that happen? I was totally winning. I feel robbed, man. I don't even know where I went wrong. He had that one move. Can't believe it. Rook versus bishop. I mean, dude, how did you save that? You were... Unbelievable. What did I do? Look at this position. I'm +9. How did I not win this? E4? How could he even, like, possibly save it? King G8 is not winning. Oh my god. That's crazy. So what do I have to do? Like, play H6 first? Is that the point? Or go back and win my pawn? I guess the best process would be to just, like, go back and win the pawn first, like here. Computer doesn't agree. Why is it saying +8.4? I don't know. Man. This was sick. He had to be lost. H6, I think, you know. Couldn't I play H6? This doesn't work? Wow, that doesn't work. That's crazy. That's insane, actually. How can he save this? He does bishop A5, bishop B6. And he's saving the game. It's unbelievable. Check this out. Here, 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 here. And he's saving the game with bishop B6. Oh my god. Wow, I thought he was just done. I just counted him. I counted him as done. 65, bishop F2. No, no, no. It's too late. I made 5 blunders. 5 blunders? Are you serious? Damn, Chemical Tree robbed me. Had you in my clutches. Camel Clutcher was in the clutches. Man, I just wrote him off too soon. I thought it was like indefensible. But of course he found his only chance. It was just so dominating, he couldn't do anything. Grabbed you by the endgame. Now Merle's won again. This guy's like literally beating everybody. So check his ratings. He's 1925 bullet, 1800, 2100. So he should be like completely normal player. Nothing special, but pretty decent, right? I have 3 wins and a draw previously on our channel. But it's... No, I get paranoid, but I mean, your ratings are a little weird. Nah, maybe not. The rapid and blitz is normal. The bullet's higher. Alright. I am paranoid. I had the similar game against Sumer, but the bishop wasn't on g5. Bishop g5 might be an improvement. Wow. Doesn't even have to think. Just like instantaneously makes moves. That takes skill, honestly. I don't know, I mean, there's something weird about White's position. He's playing the same-ish. I guess there's something weird about my position, too. To be honest. We're both playing weirdly. Alright. Fair enough. It's a weird King's Indian for black. My opponent is supposed to be 1800 blitz, 1428, and chestnut 60. No comment. I will like ban anyone who's suspicious. I'm just saying. I have to look at their previous games against me. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It may have been that they played really crazy tough games against me before, but I managed to get 3.5. This is a bad opening for black. I don't know what happened here. I've never had anyone play bishop g5 before. You know, that's f3 and bishop g5. That's an interesting approach. He's managed to prevent... He's prevented black from playing d5, which I've never seen before. That's like a really interesting, maybe excellent way for white to play. I don't think I've encountered this once. Bishop g5. I mean, it stops d5, literally. Basically, we're playing a kind of bad King's Indian, for lack of a better term. Perfect position for white. A bad hippo, bad King's Indian. I wouldn't be surprised if this player just like destroys me strategically. They're 4.5 out of 5 or 5.5 out of 6. Nah, that's weird. First of all, he like chose the immediately best continuation without even thinking. Knight c3. This move is interesting. I can play knight e4, but it's not that great. The best objectively is probably e6 for me, which would transpose to a Queen's Indian. Now e4 is a bad move. It's white's first bad move. It's not terrible, but not optimal either. Very inflexible. Terrible. Optimal. Delicious. See, this is why, like, you know, Hans had problems with Demon. If you think that your opponent might be a computer, it gets in your head. It's a very important aspect of Magnus's, you know, whole story. That no one really gets that. You know, they're like, oh, he's just a crybaby. If you think there's a chance your opponent is an engine, I mean, it's hard to concentrate, you know, and play a normal game. Also, there's just the like anger factor of knowing that this guy cheated online. It's enough for me. I refuse to play with anybody If I know they cheated against me online, I would drop out of the tournament. Magnus made a big mistake. I mean, he said it himself. He should have immediately like withdrawn from the tournament when Hans was. That's his bad. I mean, he should have dropped out instantly. If he had bad feelings about Hans, you know, he knows he should have dropped out. I would have dropped out. But he's got this like business stuff going on with chess.com and chess24, and you know, he doesn't want to like do anything weird. I'm totally in the Magnus camp. Not that it's not a competition, but I kind of empathize with Magnus on the whole story. Yeah, I mean, how strong is White? Like, really? Here. To be honest. Be honest. Doesn't play like, you know, someone who would be 1850 in lichess blitz, right? Or, you know, be crushing this tournament. A4 was a mistake, no doubt. But this like heavy pressure here, like you're sort of preventing me from breaking with c6. It's kind of subtle. He's not doing anything. He's just like preventing me from doing anything, which is, you know, Karpovian prophylactic style play. Black can't do anything, therefore I'm better. That's what White just got going on here. But a4 is a positional mistake because he can't expand on the queen side with b4. But I am paranoid, for sure. You will regret playing a4. Only if you're a weak player. I love this rotating chair. Swivel chair. Don't use that enough. Yeah, leveling yourself doesn't happen the same way in chess like poker, but if there's a shadow of doubt in your mind that your opponent might be cheating, it's enough to like totally mess you up. I mean, any distraction is like that. It's not really an excuse, but I told the story already. I had this situation where I was supposed to play someone over the board, and I refused to play them on 2 occasions. If I was Magnus, I would have refused before I ever sat down on the board with the guy. So Magnus is at fault for that. It wasn't correct the way he did it, you know. Rook g1. This is really very bot-like, botnet. One thing I will say is if this player is legit and not an engine or something, I think that they're seriously underrated. I think what happens a lot of times that people, they maybe don't cheat with the computer, but they ask a friend to play on their account on their behalf. So like, you know, Merles might be 2000-ish player, but he has his buddy, for example, just using him as an example. I don't know that he's cheating or anything, but he has his friend who's, you know, 2200 playing on the account. You know, there's no way to know. Like, I'll never know. There's always a doubt in your mind. But I think he's a little too good to be 1800 blitz, for sure. That's weird. I'm just gonna try to hold on, because I'm worse here. Maybe I can win on time. 1975. Bullet. Not a terrible bullet rating either. But I got paranoid because he has such a good score in the tournament. But I feel like there was another case of this where this particular account did super well in one of our Blitz tournaments. Like won the tournament or it was second. It's just not the first time. It's interesting, 1858 Blitz and 2094 Rapid. That's 250 points higher in Rapid versus Blitz. It's not unheard of. It's pretty common. It does seem weird though, doesn't it? F4, he's sacrificing a piece. Now that's over the top. You're playing against an IM and now you're sacrificing a piece with F4 here. And if that works, oh my god, dude, that is so sus. If that works. Because there's knight here, knight here, knight here. If F4 is like the engine move, I'm gonna freak out after the game. Then I would be like pretty confident that White's play is sus. Most people would be like content, like, oh, I'm gonna draw an IM in a totally like locked position, but he's sacking a piece with F4. I would be pretty interested in. You did that so you could play F5? Really? That's weird too. We'll have to check with the engine after the game. Yeah, but White doesn't play like a human being, I think. Not really. Maybe it's a phone. You know, oftentimes when I joke about this, but when it's not a human, but it's not that strong, I'm like, okay, it's the Nokia. For me, the F4 is really weird. I mean, you gotta draw, basically, in the bag against someone 500 points higher rated. And you're like, no, I want to make a speculative piece sacrifice. That's kind of weird. Just saying. Even B4, it's like psycho-aggressive. So you lock the whole position so you could like break it open and play for more. It's kind of inconsistent. I don't know about this. I don't have a good feeling about this. I mean, I am 3.5 out of 4 against them. We'll have to take a closer look at those other games. But I have a feeling there was something weird about this account in the past. I mean, you're 1800 in Blitz? You're seriously gonna argue that? That doesn't seem right. not even vaguely possible, that you're 1858 in blitz and you play like the way you do. White's like still putting pressure on black, like they were like an IM or something, positionally squeezing. Computers love bad bishops like that too. For example, whereas a human would not really like it. This is a typical computer decision. It's totally comfortable playing with a bad bishop, whereas a human would hate that piece. Yeah, it's just definitely sus. This is totally sus. Now, is that a tactic? You're hanging a piece now, straight up. For the pawn? Is my queen trapped? Resigns? I don't know, man. This is a really weird game. I don't know. White was equal after move 37. Then just like dropped a piece. Computer, I may be paranoid, I don't know. The computer doesn't think that White played that well. White has serious advantage, like throughout. We'll never know. +3. See, this is why like you'll never be able to have online chess tournaments. There's no way to know if White was using an engine or not. But I mean, I trust Magnus's instinct. I trust my own instinct, you know, usually. Alls I know is like White can't be 1850 in lichess blitz and play like this. You know. Even though he hung a piece in the end and lost. Those two things are like mutually exclusive. They're kind of mutually exclusive. It seems very weird to me. We got the win in a sketchy game. Bo Natrophy. Uber Driver, of course, still playing. It's Nintendo. Not playing. Still playing. Alright, I never know if my web page is up to date or not. Ruslan against Uber Driver. Only down a rook. Guys, please support the stream. I haven't begged today, but we always want to get in a little. Gu has problem. We have a problem here. Gu plays quick chess. Yeah, Stapvargan is tough, man. He beat me in the simul. A lot of times he comes back from tough positions. He's a good player. Though I think he needs to improve his openings. Yeah, that's over. Chessmaster for Nintendo. I don't know, man. Just like weird things that just don't really add up. You know, even if the Centipon loss is like 70, doesn't mean anything. Like, you can only feel if you're playing a human or not. Camel destroyed you. At least Camel is human. He's human for a camel. Camel lover. Alright. Yeah, I mean, the Merle's account, the rating is the first thing that bothers me, you know. I'm like 2,500 in Blitz. Camel Culture's like 2,500 Blitz. Stapvargan's like 2,200. But Merle's is 1,800, you know. But he's in there. Even Bo Natrophy, you know, procs 2,100. I don't like to see like big differentials between people's ratings. Look at Camel Culture, he's really close. My ratings are pretty close. Stavvar again. Bullet 22. His bullet's actually higher than Rapid. I mean, maybe like lichess Rapids are starting to get less inflated. Ruslan's 150 points higher. Jeezy Noob just slightly higher. You know, it's possible that more people are playing Rapid, so the Rapid ratings are getting less inflated. Let's see Uber Driver. Uber Driver 2269. Yeah, he's got 150 points. But the Merles has 250 points. Well, we're not even talking about Bullet, man. I'm not even, that's not even a discussion point. But when I see people have like 300 points difference between like Blitz and Rapid, you know, you start wondering, is this a guy who's like cheating but just a bad cheater or something? He like loses on time and he can't cheat in Blitz or something. That's the first thing, you know, that enters your mind. Especially if it's a young player, then you're like, okay, that's really weird. If it's like a kid, they would definitely be better at Blitz. They would play more Blitz. Let's see, Jeroen. Oh, he's got only 34 Blitz games. That's insane. Actually, Jeroen just doesn't play rated games. I didn't realize that, Jeroen. You never play rated games. Period. Now, Goo is fast, but his Blitz is lower than his Rapid. Sigaru, his Blitz is higher than his Rapid. Dinekis, Blitz is similar to the other guy. Yeah, Dinekis is ridiculous. 1500 bullet. I think he purposely sandbags his bullet rating or something. Lord Brasco 2190 Blitz, 2258 Rapid. You know, that's like okay, like logical. Sumahair, they're really close. It's the only information we have about our opponents, you know, unless they talk in the chat. I mean, that's all I know about Merles. I just think his Blitz rating is suspiciously low for his performance and playing strength. Yeah, Stavvar again. We got the Stonewall. Last game. This is round 7, right? No time to let up. Some people play only Bullet Drunk. Some people only play Drunk Bullet. Not me. Alright, I'm done for today. Drinking, that is. I had 2 glasses of wine. I'm like destroyed. I'm basically drunk from drinking 2 glasses of wine. That's my limit. My limit for weekdays, anyway. He's trying to play the Stonewall. We've been here before, ladies and gentlemen. It does get a little bit awkward. So if Bishop G4, what happens? We've seen that example. Mr. Coffee, Kali system move order. Stonewall attack. Move order. E5, pawn takes pawn. Gambit. Anybody? Alright. Yeah, I probably play better when I'm drunk. If I'm playing Bullet or something. Better not to think, just react. I mean, yeah, we've been here before a lot. It's encyclopedia. The encyclopedia variation. So he has his own interpretation of this. The web of dark squares. I've talked about this before, but if you really want to learn chess, I mean, One book I highly recommend is a basic, very basic book by Chernev, which is the most instructive chess games I've ever played. There was the one iconic game by Rubinstein, which I mentioned before in this light. But a lot of people watch the stream, you know, for the first time, you know, so that's why I tell the same stories over and over. I mean, there are new viewers. So knight d2. I haven't heard my boring stories necessarily. So he protects, okay, whatever. So this contingent of the position, what? Wow, so g3, like this crazy extreme move is now weakening white squares even worse. Say that 10 times very quickly, Asterbate. Hans, Moak, Niemann. Weakening white squares willingly. Weakening woke white squares. Wokely weakening white squares. Moak, smoke. Smoking Moki. No, I'm not demented. I just play that on TV. Let's just play white square chess. I don't know. This is just really a defensive maneuver. I didn't like, you know, things where if I'm not castling, I'm going to get bombarded on the diagonal. So there's possible like Cambridge Spring style stuff. That's why I played a6. I don't know if it's a good move. Probably not. Needless to say, like Stapvargan's g3 is insanely eccentric and counterintuitive. Some people only play Drunk Bullet. Oh man, why am I so tired? I really gotta find like one of those sleep doctors. Dr. Sleep. I think Move 11 went to a sleep doctor to learn how to like sleep more effectively. I feel like I don't get enough rest. Rubinstein Schlechter 1912. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty disturbing that it was Schlechter. It might have been like Schlechter's worst game of his life or something. Schlechter was an awesome player. Who's the only reason why Schlechter like didn't become world champion, or at least close, was illness. He had a short chess career. I think his style was actually not that different from Rubinstein. They're both fantastic players to study. Schlechter had a bad rap as like a draw master, but I feel like that was kind of bullshit. That's like Petrosian, you could say, was a draw master too, except for all the like brilliancies, the positional brilliancies he played. When he wasn't like drawing boring games, he was like playing brilliant strategic masterpieces. Okay, so the key to the position is the weakness on the white squares. We can exploit that perhaps by at some point trading the light square bishops if I could get it. However, white is now unpinned from that diagonal there. I mean, bishop h3, rook f2. I don't really have anything. Also, I'm hesitant to take pressure off the center. But he's got 95 now. I guess I'm prepared to do battle. What about e4? If you play e4, you end up possibly ending up with like an isolated pawn on the d4. I have this great book of Rubinstein, Schlechter games. Is he really better here? He swindled me in the simul. He's like a genius. Can't believe it. White's better. I can't believe it. He still has his bad bishop. He has like a genius. Queen e1. I've wasted too much time. H5 was just a waste of time. Wow. That's crazy. G3. It's all about G3. I wasted too much time with A6. There's no doubt about it now. A6 was too slow. Although here he plays Queen E1. I mean, I could have played H4. My play is too slow. What are you calculating? Like Queen... I'm sorry, F5? Obsession with the vampire. He has bad bishop ADD. It's like you only ever want to play with the bad bishop. That's all I want to do. If there's no bad bishop, he's not interested. Unsuccessful refutation of the stone wall. Oh man, unbelievable. So sick. So unbelievably sick. Well, now you're willing to trade your bad bishop? What's that about? Are you sure you're alright? You hit your head on something? You gonna trade your bad bishop off for my knight? I think he had a really nice move there. I mean, you can obviously play rook d1. White can only likely be better. My original plan was queen d5, but he's got take, check, and even then, I mean, I'm just not better here. Maybe I can play, I don't know, actually. We've got to be careful here. I think you wanna play sharply. Maybe h4 is worth considering. But b7 is just hanging. This is more important though. Okay, b7's not really hanging. I've got h4, g4. Do I really want to do that? Castle's probably the best move. Counterintuitive. Draw. It's a likely draw. How's my tiebreak here against the hero? How's my tiebreak if I draw? Chemiculture's behind. He already won. Acerbate was his last round opponent. Are you serious? Acerbate, you lost to Chemiculture? You're kidding me. How could you? So disappointed. I can't believe Acerbate lost to Chemiculture. I'm gonna like draw. No, objectively, this might be a mistake. I probably should have taken on F5. I mean, theoretically, I could play for a win. With pawn takes F5, like rook takes F5, G6. Because theoretically, my king is like slightly less open than white's. But I kind of doubt it is enough. Like here, and in this position, I'm probably slightly worse. I should have definitely taken on F5. This is a blunder. Okay, it feels safe to get the queens off, but a draw will give you. Oh, I don't know. A draw gives me a win on tiebreak. I feel sort of cheap. Eking out the tiebreak win by playing for a draw. No draw yet. He's gonna torture me here. Interesting. Chop chop. Wow. He's just so... He's being super solid. Being John Malkovich. Yeah, is that even a good move? But Camel can still get some points too, due to unfinished games. So whose players have like unregistered? I'm still number 1 according to the pairing system. Kind of a weird position. Now I want to play, I'm thinking of playing like rook c8. Is that weird? Is it weird to do that? See, White's like torn between like playing for a win and playing for a draw. And now he's actually worse. But, you know, it's unlikely White is lost. He's really not that much worse. Tricky. Tricky. She's tricky. Yes. Yes, Luke. You are my godfather. I think we go. Me go. Me go. You go. You go for F-pawn. Ah! You have defense. That is good move. King pawn in game. Not win. Yeah, we mostly play the same opponents, but he's got acerbate tiebreak. That's kind of disturbing, right? Acerbreak. He has acerbreaks. See, I like this time control because we can actually play endgames. I have time to think about our moves. It's a unique experience. How dare you? He has an answer for everything. Is it like threefold repetition yet? Check. Rookie 2, let me guess. There's H4. Is this crazy? Is it possible? What? Oh my gosh. Is that king and pawn winning for me? With the king on like b4? Yeah. Wow. Whew. So he can't allow the rook exchange. Once my king gets over here, threatening to get in there. That's rough. My best game. The opening though, he was fine. He actually outplayed me. To be honest, it was a drawn. It was a drawn rook ending. But he even had the slight advantage. Not like I played a brilliancy and I deserved to win it. I mean, I just like waited for white to make a mistake. I was somewhat lucky there. But maybe the better game that I played today. Alright, we got lucky. As always. But I didn't want to risk the tiebreak situation against Camel Culture. Who is that? Uber driver in third place. Uber driver, third place. Congratulations, Camel Culture. A nice performance as always. Remember, Camel Culture had the first round bye, so he was playing at a handicap to begin with on tie breaks. So, credible performance. He made 5.5 out of 6. Only giving up a half-point draw against me. GM norm. Exactly. Camel Culture got an IM norm. And Uber Driver got an FM norm. Congratulations, guys. Slaggy Master norm. Slaggy GM, Slaggy IM, Slaggy FM. Anyway, guys, thanks for playing. It was fun. I like this time control. It's a little more action. But Mr. Coffee, thanks as always. Thanks to you guys for supporting the stream. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm just reading an Acerbate comment, but we'll be back tomorrow with weird rapid challenges. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for resubscribing. Thanks to all of you who have supported the stream and followed. Chess Bay 12 has followed. Nils, nice to see you. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.